What is going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another gameplay stream. I hope you guys are doing fantastic this week. I hope you had a fantastic weekend as well. I'm really excited to jump into this. I just want to mention a couple things before we get too far in. One, we are playing Historic again today. Kaldheim comes out later this week, which I'm really excited about. We've got some things pre-ordered here on Arena, so we are going to jump into that hot and heavy when we can. So do stay tuned for that later this week, and then of course on into next week. Something I also wanted to bring up is if you're following us here on Twitch, you may notice we've never really had a schedule on our page before. I did go ahead and kind of place one up there for you guys as just a general idea of when we stream. It's usually about 1 p.m. every day during the week. I did put the card hunt there on Friday, which we will continue this Friday. We've got a Japanese booster box once again to open up for War of the Spark, hopefully getting a Nickel Bullis Dragon God to give away to one of you fine people. But just if you're ever wondering when we plan on streaming, do check and reference that schedule. That's going to be kind of our go-to place. Again, we will not necessarily be doing that hard and fast every single time, but we're going to do the best we can to stick to it. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the deck today. So this is a pretty standard deck, and I wanted to go with a pretty standard deck because, you know, with the whole new set coming out, I wanted to try some stuff that I just hadn't done before, but that I've seen a lot of. This is Mono Blue Tempo. Now, this plays very similarly to the blue-white kind of Curiosity deck, and it very much has a lot of the same pieces, but it doesn't suffer from any of the mana issues that are potentially there for a multicolor list. So very heavy on the tempo aspect of things. And you can kind of see that in the way that we've got Unsummons, we've got Spell Pierces, we've of course got Miscast as just a one-of here to kind of deal with certain things. And then Brazen Borrower, Quench, Lofty Denial, these kinds of interactive spells to hopefully counter or tempo out the opponent, all the while trying to get things like Pteramander, Spectral Sailor, Stormtamer, and maybe even a Borrower and an Octopus down to start drawing cards with Curious Obsession and Curiosity here pegged onto them. So pretty straightforward list here. It's a really simple game plan. Get a creature down, hit it with a Curiosity, and then protect it as much as you can, drawing tons of cards in the process, and hopefully getting enough spells in your hand to be able to counter whatever the opponent needs to do on the following turns. We have 20 islands, a very straightforward land base. I would recommend trying out some different things here. For instance, Castle Vantress is a good include, and even Mystic Sanctuary could be very good, but the key here is you really don't want to ever hit a tapped land, and given that we only have 20, I don't want to run too many of those kinds of things, just in case we run into kind of issues there. So let's go ahead, let's jump into this. I haven't tested this a whole lot, but I did want to just see how it goes today, and hopefully have a good time doing it. Garrett, what is up, my friend? How are you doing? Did you have a good weekend? And how's your week starting off, buddy? Great to see you. Great to be back streaming. I know we take the weekends off for the most part, and so it's great to be able to jump back into it. This is a fantastic hand. We've got a Spectral Sailor that will be able to flash out, and then of course Spell Pierce and Curiosity, so very happy. Not bad. Today is my big school day, so that's fun. Oh, big school day, huh? All out, what is up, buddy? How's school going for you, Garrett? I hope well. Hope very well. Let's go ahead and get the Spectral Sailor out. We'll play a land. We're going to play Curiosity on it, just so we're not quite as committed as the Curious Obsession can be. And then here, we are actually going to leave up the Spell Pierce. I don't want to overcommit quite yet. New semester, more work, same vibes. I understand. Hey, Splayer, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Wolf King, welcome. Great to see everybody here. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really do appreciate it. Omega popping in as well. Great to see all these familiar faces. Everybody, how was your weekend? Let us know. All right, let's see what happens. Pillar, what is going on? Great to see you again as well. Okay, we'll just Spell Pierce it. We do want to leave as much mana open here as possible. If we draw another Spell Pierce or something along those lines, it just gives us more options here. Nightmare, what's going on? Ooh, fantastic. How are you doing, Nightmare? Pillar, hope you're doing well. Perfect. We just get to Spell Pierce it. Over the past week, all 3 of my EDH decks have gotten stronger with some upgrades added. Yeah, dude, there is so much great stuff coming out here soon. All out. I am so excited for the new set. Certainly hope you guys are. I'm really stoked to see what kinds of decks we get to play. We will be jumping into Standard a little bit, more so than we probably have been over the last month or 2, just because there is obviously going to be a lot of new stuff to work at. Is this the first game of the stream? Wolf King, it is. Hey, Nightmare, I'm so glad that you're doing well, buddy. That's great. Oh, whoops. I should have quenched. Well, this was a mistake. A huge, huge mistake. Let's see if that works. Ooh, thank goodness. That could have gotten very bad. Alright. Let's go ahead and swing in. Definitely was supposed to quench that, and I just didn't. Alright, let's draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just draw, yeah, we'll just draw all of them. Because in this case, we just discard a land, so it's fine. Ooh, I'm getting more into blue decks, mostly mill stuff. Hey, Pete, I'm so glad to hear that. Tell him I said hello as well. It's so good to see you, Pete. Thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate it, of course. Let's go ahead and flinch here. And then naturally, we also just get to flash out this Brazen Borrower. So now we're in the point where, you know, we're pretty well closing out this game. I'm not super worried about it. Let's just jump in with some more damage. See how we do. At the end of the season, the top of the ladder enters Omega. I'm actually not sure, only because I don't care about tournament play on my end. I think it's really fun to watch, but like I'm not stressing about getting into a tournament anytime soon. So I am not sure. Yeah, Quirk's fine. We are going to be getting really, really into Kaldheim very, very soon. So I am very stoked. And again, we are just so well positioned against this. They're trying to burn us out right and left, and it's just not working. And there we go. We get the first win. Omega, I'm going to call on you this time. Can you please, each time we finish a game, will you update our record in chat? This is 1-0. If you don't mind sharing that in chat every time we get a new win or loss, that would be fantastic. I'd really appreciate it. All right, let's jump in. Let's also get some hype in chat. We got our first win. Thanks, Omega. Appreciate it, buddy. Also, guys, I mentioned at the very top of the video here, but, and I'll pull it out right here. We do have a Japanese War of the Spark box for this Friday. So, if you missed the part 3 of War of the Spark, trying to open up that Nicol Bolas, we didn't get it that time. So we will be opening up another box, and I'm really excited about it because if we get a Japanese alternate art one of you guys will be getting it, which is pretty awesome. Up against Kakusho. All right. I felt like Kaldheim lands were strong. Then I got reminded we were getting the second half, Pathway Kaldheim. So, yeah, there's... come on, Bolas. Nightmare, I like it. I think the lands are going to be really, really important in Kaldheim for a number of reasons. I don't think we can keep this hand. Excuse me. Let's see. You know, as great as it is to have so much counter stuff, we really do need to get proactive in the early stages of the game. I'd hate to throw this back and really just not get anything, but I am going to take the mulligan here and just see what happens. This is great, actually. I do like the Siren, but I think it's putting the Siren back is the best option here. This just gives us a little bit more long-term play. Turn 1, Pteramander. Turn 2, Curiosity with Spell Pierce on top of it. And there we go, a follow-up Spell Pierce here. Definitely looking like a strong opener, so very, very happy I mulliganed here. The only danger is if they do have a kill spell here, we are in trouble. Flying Jim, just stopping by. Hope everyone has a good start to the week. Thank you so much, Jimbo. I hope you have a fantastic day as well. Let's go ahead and Curiosity up this. I'm gonna leave up in that Spell Pierce again. We'll go ahead and take that action. And there we go, an Unsummon. Very happy to see that. Martiz, I didn't see you in chat yet. Welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We can just unsummon that at some point here, which I do think we'll end up doing, just to make sure we're getting in with this Pteramander as much as we can. A little worried about a kill spell here, but we'll do the best we can. I think if they just pass turn, then we will as well. We're gonna wait to see what happens here. All right, let's do this. This just equips this up, which does make it so it's gonna get in, you know, this doesn't kill it. So let's see what happens here. Are they going to block? They are going to block. Okay. Let's see what happens. Really intrigued to see what happens here. Okay. They're just gonna sack it, draw a card. That makes a lot of sense. But now, again, we're leaving up this protection in the way of spell pierces here. So if they've got another creature, it's fine. We've got ways to get around it, but we just want to make sure that we're doing the best we can to avoid a lot of those issues. And here we just get to very cleanly spell pierce away a Teferi's Tutelage, which is certainly a problem card for us. So happy to get that one out. That's annoying, the Thieves Guild Enforcer, but it's not unbeatable for us. So let's go ahead, let's attack. See what happens. Let's draw a couple cards. Okay. I like that quite a bit. But I think we're actually in the camp of just passing here. I know that seems kind of weird, but this allows us to unsummon and counter, which is very, very key here. And again, we're just going to Lofty Denial this, and then we can unsummon this Thieves Guild Enforcer if we'd like. We could have actually... Nah, we couldn't have Spell Pierced it. Okay. Guys, I gotta go wish you all well. Wolf King, thank you so much again for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I wish you the absolute best of days, my friend. Thank you so much. And again, I'm countering the bigger spells here. We could bounce this Thieves Guild Enforcer, but we really don't need to. It cannot block the Pteramander, which is very important for us. And then here, we're actually getting close to the point where we can adapt the Pteramander and hopefully do some significant damage here. Guys, what are your plans for the week? Do you have anything fun coming up this week? Is it just a work week for you? Maybe some schooling? What have you got going on? Anything super exciting? I'm really excited. We've got my fiance and I have been working on some house renovation, some slight renovation. It's really just painting some areas of the house, and we just started this past weekend. It was a busy weekend, but we had a lot of fun. And really enjoyed getting some work done on the house, which is great. Straight school till pre-release on Friday. Garrett, good luck at pre-release, my dude. I hope you have a great time. No, just the second week of college, Corkspine. Ooh, college. What a rough time. My fiance is getting her master's right now in literacy, and it is a lot of work for her. She's also a third grade teacher, so she does a lot of stuff. I couldn't be more proud of her, though. She's handling it so well. Not super excited, but I'm getting myself a driving school to start the license course. Dude, Martiz, that is awesome. Good luck. Congratulations to you. I think the opponent kind of just left. Looking for a job after my master's and playing some Magic. Omega, I love it. Have we talked about your master's? What is your master's in, Omega? If I may ask. Can't get any pre-release packs. LGS isn't open, and I haven't seen them online. Yeah, Pete, they're a bit tough to find in our area too. I'm hoping that our LGS actually comes through, and I'm able to get something there. But obviously, if I do, I'll certainly be doing a box opening, of course. So stay tuned for that. All right, we're just gonna attack in. Again, we're not in any rush here, to be honest. They're not doing anything. And I feel pretty strongly about our position here. Do we play this? I think we do. Gives us a little more protections. My master's is in biophysics and bio... Wow, okay. Well done. You are smarter than like 95% of people, I am sure, Omega. But that's awesome. That's really cool. Looking forward to pre-release. Would like it to be in person, but unfortunately it's looking digital for me. Nightmare, yeah, I feel ya. I think it's going to be the same for us. My LGS isn't even sure if they're receiving pre-release. Ooh, that's not good. Omega sounds more complicated than what it is. I don't know. That sounds really complicated, so I'm guessing it's still at least somewhat complicated. But that's really cool, Omega. Congratulations. That's a huge achievement. I studied graphic design and web development in college, but I technically never finished. Hope you don't match up against Life Gain or Control. Corkspine, yeah, it's a little tricky against Control. If you can counter the Wraths, you're generally okay. Life Gain is a frustrating one, but again, you've got so much tempo that a lot of times you can kind of slow them down enough. And Unsummon works great against things like Heliod because, you know, while it's indestructible, you at least get to bounce it and keep it from going off too crazily. It still can be kind of rough, though. Omega, thank you so much for updating us with the score 2-0. Clean so far. I like it. We're going to hopefully get a nice, solid score this time around. I don't know that we'll go undefeated like we did that one time with the janky blue-white token deck. I had no idea that was going to be that good, but it worked out. I know some of you guys were there for that one. All right. Game 3. Feeling pretty good with this deck. I really enjoy these like flash mono blue kind of style decks. They're just so great with their tempo, and they feel so nice and clean. Little bit of an odd hand here, but I think we'll be okay. I'm gonna flash out the Spectral Sailor. This might be big red, given that they didn't really play anything, and it looks like that's the case. It is a little scary. Big red can really do some damage, so we're gonna have to make sure that we stay true. I'm going to just attack in here, actually. I know that seems a little weird given that Curiosity is in our hand, but turn 4 is pretty crucial. If we can Lofty Denial something, I absolutely will. And here's a great opportunity, so let's go ahead and get that out of there. Just so that isn't a worry. Let's go ahead and Curiosity up this guy. Gabos, yeah, but this is kind of an odd Gabos deck. If they're running Mind Stone, that seems a bit odd to me, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Ignore the spam in the chat. Hate for that, but it happens. The Snoop. Do I care about the Snoop? I kind of don't. It's certainly a frustrating card, but it's not really the best one. Probably Gavos with Horn. That's a good call, Omega. You were probably correct. We can always just unsummon this as if need be. The other option is just to hold up the unsummon since we really don't need it right this second. I mean, this is certainly good, but... Okay, yeah, we just Lofty Denial. I'm glad we left up that counter, to be honest. That could have been very, very bad. Let's attack first. Always a good idea in this deck to attack first, see what you draw, then make decisions based on the information that you've got. In this case, we are going to Stormtamer just to leave up some protection here. And then, of course, leave up this Unsummon as well for... you were right, Omega, that Horn. You know you're making it on Twitch when you get spammy comment. Yeah, that's how you know you make it, Pete. That's it. I'm not gonna unsummon yet. I think we just leave it. Okay. Let's attack in here. Assuming we can. Yeah. Alright. And I'm all too happy to attack with both. This is another Gavos deck with more draw, less aggressive, more consistent, I think. It does tend to be a bit more consistent, but it's a bit of a risky play. I think the strength of the Gavos deck is 100%, just that it can kind of get off the ground very quickly, if that makes sense. If it's not doing that, then I don't feel super good about their chances here, but we'll see. Herald's Horn. That does mean we can't quench the Horn, which is going to be kind of a problem for us, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, Omega definitely better for us. The Horn really does kind of worry me, though. At the beginning of the top card, if it's a creature card that shows a type, you can reveal it. Yeah, that does worry me slightly. Oh, perfect. We can quench that. That was perfect. Played exactly what we wanted to play, and there we go. A clean 3-0. Wow, very surprised that they went for that. I actually would have gone for the horn, I think. That was a backbreaking quench on their end. Awesome. All right, guys, we're doing pretty well with this. Let's get some hype in the chat for you subscribers. Just a heads up, by the way, everybody, if you would like to subscribe, too greedy, Omega, you're exactly right. Thank you, Martez. Just as a reminder, we do still have one pack left of Commander Legends given to us by our good friend Creeper over the Christmas break, actually. And so we, if anybody would like to subscribe, we will happily open it up here on channel as we go. What are some of the better removal colors, particularly creature removal? That's a tough one all out. Give me 1 second and I will answer your question. I think I'm going to mulligan this, and I will keep this. And we'll probably... It's kind of a straightforward play to throw a Spell Pierce back here, given that we've got Spell Pierce and Lofty Denial as options. Alright, Simic removal. That's a really tough one. Depends a bit if you go more controller creature-oriented. Omega, that's fair. Alright, given that this is probably elves, we're just going to go ahead and start this draw turn. We're going to need it for sure. Probably only green fight spells. Fight spells do a good bit. I'm kind of doing both, to be honest. Interesting. Yeah, counter magic is always good. Alright, let's get in there. Let's draw another card. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna play the Storm College. I think counter is really the best way to go with Simic most of the time. So I think I'm kind of with Garrett there. Fight spells, depending on what you're doing, are really good, but it very much depends on what you're doing. I'm actually gonna Lofty Denial this. Ram through, yeah, Rabid Bite, both are good options. But just deal damage. Garrett, yeah, good call. By the way, I countered the Elvish Visionary because it draws a card, which I'm not particularly interested in dealing with their draw spells and stuff like that. Alright, let's deal 2, take action. Ooh, Quench is pretty, well, it's actually not that great. Might be able to hit this Marwyn, though, with the Unsummon. Depending on what they play here, we could do a good bit. Alright, we're going to Unsummon Marwyn. They're going to tap it. That's fine. Alright, so they do have 2 mana left open. I'm going to let that hit. So now they can replay Marwyn if they would like, but we can Quench it. So let's kind of hope that that's what they do. Okay, they're going to play another one. We'll just Quench it. It's the best opportunity we've got. Also, guys, if you do want to support the channel, just want to remind you, there's a link there in chat for you. We've got a lot of great stuff there. Some proxies, some merch, things like that. We should have some new proxies actually coming very, very soon. So do keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. But certainly appreciate any and all support. That's a great way to do it. So please keep that in mind. If you're interested, don't feel like you have to. We'd appreciate it, of course. All right. So we can Quench it, in which case they basically just can't attack. But it also stops them from making a follow-up play, so I'm actually kind of with it. Again, we're in the tempo game, so let's keep that in mind. There is value to be had from them just not being able to play multiple spells at once. So we do need to keep that in the back of our heads as a very good kind of option. All right, let's play land. So we can adapt this, in which case it becomes a pretty significant threat. And then we only really have Unsummon left up. The Spell Pierce really isn't doing much. You know what? We do have Spell Pierce up, I'm sorry, but it's just not going to be doing a ton, I don't think. I'm going to attack with both. Which just puts us down even closer. Going to draw a couple cards here. And we do have a Quench. All right. Maybe we can make something happen. I think we're playing as best we can. I don't feel bad about any of our plays at this point. Elvish Visionary, huh? I'm gonna let that happen. Sure. Okay. they can't deal with our Pteramander, we're fine. That's really the big key here. Okay, that's a little scary, but I think we can do this. Tapia, what is up, my friend? How are you doing? Great to see you, buddy. And another. Okay. We're gonna let it happen. We're just gonna end up unsummoning here, I believe. Oh. Okay. Well, in this case, they're done. They do have 3 mana, I suppose, left over. But that's it. And I don't think they can really do a ton with 3 mana. Yeah, we're just gonna quench that. Tapia, how are you doing today, buddy? What is up? All right, there we go. Nice, clean 4th win for this mono blue deck. Man, we are not doing too bad. Really enjoying this deck, if I'm honest. This is a great one. Lunch break, glad to be eating. Yeah, Tapia, I have not actually had lunch yet, so I'm really hoping to get some food here soon as well. And we leveled up. Look at that. All right, 4-0. Omega, thank you so much for keeping us updated on the score. I really do appreciate it. And All Out, thank you so much for the hype. Let's get some more hype in chat if any subscribers are still hanging out with us. Thank you guys so much. And Tapia, again, great to see you. All right, what do we have? I don't think we can keep this. It's a very reactive hand, and it can certainly do some stuff, but I like to be aggressive with my mulligans with a deck like this. I do think it's better to do that generally. It's risky, but I do think it works better. Pillar, thank you for the hype. Yes, we will keep. Unfortunately, we're going to be a bit low on draw spells here, though, so we're kind of just hoping to draw a Curious Obsession or just Curiosity so we can start getting some stuff on the field here and start building our hand back up. So we'll see if that actually works out. That's obviously the goal, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So far, it looks like it's not going to. I'm actually not going to attack. They could very easily flash out a rogue here. There is the, what, 2/3 flash or whatever it is, and I don't particularly care to lose my Pteramander just to that. So let's play safe. We do have Unsummon, so I guess we could have just countered it, but eh. Alright, let's see what can happen this time. We'll see what they do. Kind of just hoping they play anything. Yeah, I'll just Lofty Denial that. Dimir control. It looks like Rogue's control, but basically the same thing. Omega. Okay, that's fine. Again, being that we are the tempo deck, that works out for us. We only get 1 damage in, but we got rid of what I find to be a very problematic card, which is the Enforcer. They can certainly flash out this Soaring Thought Thief, but kind of hoping we can get around it somehow. I am going to pass here, though. We've only got 1 Quench, so we really can't do a lot here. Yeah. Unfortunately, nothing we can do about that. We could try and quench it, but they just tap 2, and then it doesn't matter. Unfortunately, the longer the game goes on, the less this quench becomes good. Good news is they got rid of 2 lands on the top of our deck, which actually does help us quite a bit, especially given we only have 20 lands. So we'll happily take that opportunity. Let's go ahead and Curiosity here. This may run into a counter. Looks like not. Do we think they have something else? You know what? We're going to risk it. This is a pretty backbreaking play, though. If they've got a flasher that can block this Pteramander, we are in for some trouble. Okay. Let's Spell Pierce it first. We may have to double counter this, which feels terrible, but it does kind of work. And then, of course, we do replace it with a card. This is a very close one, though. This is a pretty big turning point in the game. Here we counter the counter, which just means we don't mill an extra 3 cards. Mill isn't terrible for us, given that we've got Pteramander, but I'd rather not play into their strengths as much as, you know, they want us to. Spell Pierce is nice. It's not great. Let's use it, though. Just so they have to pay, and again, tempoing out is the important thing here. So many lands, you need to draw spells sooner. Yeah, Omega, unfortunately, we just didn't get very lucky with that, so that's just kind of how it works. Alright, Stormcaller, or Stormtamer, excuse me. That's all we got. Let's hope it works. Ooh, that's powerful. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's probably enough that they're going to be able to win this game. They're slow, I mean, right? They're not dealing a ton of damage to us, but they are going to be much more set up than we are, given how many cards they've drawn this game, which is really the advantage here. We're looking to draw cards, not to race necessarily. Eventually we do, but we want to race when we've got other things to race for. Yeah. Very much a risky attack, so not totally unexpected on their end, and here we go. We're at the point where I think we're going to pick up our first loss, guys, but that's okay. We're 4-1. It's not a bad record, I will say. Sure. Miscast, not going to do a ton here. Again, they've got so many lands at this point that there's really very little we can do. We're going to pass. We've got Brazen Borrower mana, so might be able to make something happen. I'm gonna do this, make them tap their 3, bad draw, happen with all decks. Yeah, Omega, I think this was a bit of a bad draw for us. I think this is a rough matchup in general as well, so I'm not too unhappy about the way things turned out, to be honest. Certainly could have been quite a bit worse, so not terribly unhappy with it. I did technically give them the option. They didn't have to. They could have let that counter happen and then played something in response, but they didn't. Stride to the top. That's also dangerous. Soaring Thought Thief comes back down. Sure. Land and Unsummon, Quench, and Spectral Sailor. And this is really the downside to this deck. Let's talk about that for a little bit, is that in this kind of matchup, it's very difficult for someone to claw back into a game with this deck, right? Because there's not a whole lot of high impact spells. There's very little you can truly do once that lead has been established and once you're in top deck mode with no draw ability. And unfortunately, that's just where we ended up. That's okay, that's just where we are. And there we go, they've countered, so I'm gonna go ahead and concede. But the problem is, you don't have the option with a lot of decks. You've got that option to kind of claw your way back. It's very challenging with a deck like this. This deck is looking to get ahead, stay ahead the entirety of the game. And so turn 1, you're really looking to make sure, thank you all out for that anti-hype, by the way. Anti-hype in the chat for the loss. You really are looking to get that creature down, get that draw engine going, and then just protect, protect, protect. Because if you can do that, you're fine. You've got all the answers in the world, it's fine. But if you can't do it, you're stuck, and that's all there is to it. That's unfortunate on the draw for us, but it is what it is. Thank you for updating us with the score, Omega. Certainly appreciate it, and this is a great hand. We're going to keep it. Pillar and All Out showing us that anti-hype emote. Thank you so much. I think we're only going to do a handful of other games here. Since this deck is fairly straightforward, we may not go that full hour. Regardless, I really appreciate everybody sticking through this one. I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, we'll at least get 1 or 2 more games in, depending on how long this one goes. Looks like it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to lead off with the Pteramander here. I like having the Spectral Sailor, but I like the flexibility that this provides later on, where you can just essentially see what happens with it. You can flash it out at any time, and then it's kind of okay. Do have to worry about this blast zone at some point here. We unfortunately don't have a way to kind of deal with that. But let's draw some cards while we can, and let's just not let's make sure we aren't over committing to this Pteramander. I do think that's kind of the key here, to not just outright losing this game. get the draw in while we can, but again, we've got this Spectral Sailor, we've got multiple now, that we can utilize later on in the game, so let's make sure that we take full advantage. One thing that's very important to note also, I've made this mistake before in thinking I could Brazen Borrower, or excuse me, Petty Theft my own creature to save it from something like a Blast Zone. That does not work. As unfortunate as that is, it does not work. Do we actually Spell Pierce this? You know, I think we do. That sounds really strange, I know, but the reality is this deck is looking to ramp, and if it can't, there's a world where we end up winning just quickly off of something like that. So it may not work, but we're going to try it. We are definitely going to try it. This, if nothing else, is for science. Opponent really thinking, though, with only 1 mana up. I don't know what they could do. Importantly, this also means that they don't have their 3rd source of mana for this Blast Zone. So if we for some reason get very lucky, we could actually get around some things here. All right, let's mutate. Taking a bit of a risk here again. We're not leaving up mana, which is pretty crucial, but we are going to deal a little bit more damage and get 2 cards off of this, which really, really helps us out quite a bit. It also gets us, I think, out of this Blast Zone territory, which is quite nice. There we go, we got a land. And again, we'll just pass here. Okay. They did get their land, that's fine. Sorry if you hear a dog, by the way. Part of me wants to flash out Spectral Sailor to bait the Blast Zone, and part of me doesn't. It does just put us on 2 different mana costs, which is, I think, pretty crucial here with the Blast Zone, so let's see what happens. If they bait and kill it, that's kind of fine. Never say sorry for a dog. Love it. Alright, let's attack in. Again, I'm not willing to overcommit. This is our draw engine. This is kind of a slower draw engine, these Spectral Sailors, so let's just hold off. Let's see what happens with this Blast Zone. They can hit it for 1, which does get rid of the Curious Obsession and the Sailor, which is worthwhile. So my question is, do we just want to mutate out this? We do. Let's go for it. We'll put it over. This just draws us 2 cards still, which again is really just the goal of the whole deck. So now that they've used that Blast Zone, I feel a little bit safer doing that. Not a great draw though. I was really hoping to get a land so we could quench something. But it looks like that Mind Stone that we quenched, or that we countered with the Spell Pierce was a good call, given how this has gone. They just didn't play a land last turn. They've got no mana rocks. Looks like we made the right decision. Oh, and again, kind of lacking there. We'll play a Stormtamer, and we'll end the turn discarding an Unsummon. Unsummon really is not great in this deck. Or against this deck, excuse me. And there we go, guys. We got the win. That puts us at a very nice 5-1 record. I think what we're going to do, we're going to play one final game. Thank you, Omega. And thank you for the hype all out. Yeah, please, hype emote in the chat. But that was a great game. Really felt good about countering that Mind Stone in that instance. I think that worked out great. I think that's not necessarily how it would always go, but it did work out there. Gotta go. I'll catch the rest of the matches on YouTube, so make them wins. Pete, I will do the best I can, buddy. Thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate you being here, as always. And say hello to your partner as well. I will keep this. We're going to put a land on the bottom, which I don't like doing, but I do kind of want to hold up all of these as options, so. Temple. Okay. That makes Quench feel really, really good here. So I'm going to leave that up. We'll see if this actually works out or not. Hopefully we can just Quench something, like a Bone Crusher, or, you know, something along those lines. That I just don't care about, though. So I'll let that resolve. That's fine. Hey, Scott, you're catching just the tail end, buddy, but it's great to see you. I hope you're doing well today. We are doing our best with this mono blue tempo. It's going pretty well. We're holding at a 5-1 record. This is our last game. Hoping to hit a land off of this draw. Unfortunately, did not. But we can unsummon or do something like that this turn, so we'll see what happens. A little worried about sweepers and things. So next turn, so here, this does work. We can actually fizzle the Bone Crusher Giant, which means they can't play it later. So just as a nice little thing to think about, if you didn't know you could do that, that's a really nice little play. Scott, just happy you're here, buddy. No worries at all. Thank you so much for being here. Unfortunately, just kind of representing something with this 1 blue mana, we haven't drawn a 3rd blue source. Slightly regretting putting the land back, but honestly, I don't think it was the worst decision. I think that was probably the best we could do. You'll catch the YouTube video? Sounds great. Let's Pteramander. I am not going to Curiosity. Again, overcommitting is a huge danger of this kind of deck, so definitely don't want to be doing that if you can help it. Looks interesting. Alright, now we will Curiosity. Let's see what they've got. If they have any kind of reaction, that is fine. Let's Spell Pierce. Get that out of there. And let's get this down for an attack. Alright. Hopefully drawing a land. Can we please draw a land? There we go. Alright. Now again, this Unsummon working double duty here. We're able to bounce something on their end if we need to, or bounce our own creature, which is just a really interesting way to go. It's 1 damage target that doesn't have first strike, double strike, or haste. Well, that's interesting. Okay. That's very interesting. Well, we're gonna pass here. Curious as to what we're actually gonna do here. I'm not sure what the best bet is. Resolve that. We're gonna bounce this. And we'll just go ahead and unsummon this. Yeah, this is a weird path deck. Just a strange one, to be brutally honest. It's a bit of an odd one. But we'll see what they've got here. Playing the Pteramander again to leave up this Lofty Denial in particular, but also potentially this Quench. Just in a world where we might be able to counter something here. It looks like we can. Let's counter the Bone Crusher just to keep them off of anything major here. They may have something to follow it up, but I think that's still the best option for us. Weird. Such an odd deck. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. And that's it. That's all we can do. We do have Spell Pierce plus Miscast to be able to kind of deal with some stuff here. And let's Spell Pierce that. If they want to pay 2, that's fine. That means we get to Quench it. Unfortunately, that's a 2-for-1 on their benefit, though, which is a bit scary. Glorious Anthem and so few creatures. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd deck, I'm not gonna lie. I think they were counting on just being able to attack in with, you know, these little 1/1s, but they haven't played that way, which is a bit odd. Okay. You know what? They get it here. There's nothing we can do about it. That's fine. But again, holding them off from doing a whole lot either. And we just pass. Unfortunately, not getting a whole lot of great draws, though. Okay. This is a big enchantments deck, which is very interesting. Huh. This is a weird deck. I hate to say we probably will lose to this deck, but it's an odd one to lose to, if I'm honest. Feels very strange. Let's go ahead and play Brazen Borrower. Hopefully they try and burn it, and then we can probably play 5/6 mana enchantment that makes tokens at random too. Oh, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. What, Outlaws of Merriment? Is that what it is, Omega? They very easily could, but okay. Unfortunately, this is just such a perfect card against us. Like, it deals 1 damage to everything, and that's enough. Just such a problem for us, but we're doing the best we can. This is a very odd matchup. Yep, there we go. Some glorious anthems. Oh no. We're flooding, guys. We are flooding. Well, I have to say, this was still a really good run. I've been very happy with this deck, and we haven't lost quite yet, but I think chances are we're pretty much out of this one. But it's been a pretty fun deck. I've very much enjoyed it. I hope you guys have. Unsummon, huh? Yeah, we actually do kind of need to unsummon just so they can't flip this path. They can't attack with this, which is great for us. It just means they can't flip the battle. Go ahead and spit out a token. Sea-Dasher Octopus, huh? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and concede here. They've got us. Guys, thank you so much. Omega, thank you so much for keeping score for us today. Finishing off with a 5-2 record. Not a bad one for just a pretty basic mono blue tempo deck. I really enjoyed this one. Again, I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. Please make sure you check out the schedule down below to make sure that you're not missing anything. Really, it's just 1 p.m. every day. We're going to do the best we can to stream. May not be 100%, but we really are going to do our best to stick to it. And again, it's great to see you guys. Tapia, thank you so much. Martiz, Pillar, giving us the anti-hype, all out as well. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow again at 1 p.m. Eastern for another gameplay stream, but I'll catch you guys then. Thanks so much.